Welcome to Review with a Brew. Today's blend is English breakfast tea, and I've even forgotten to take my tea bag out. Ow, ow, ow. Oh well. Suzuki Swift Sport. The Suzuki Swift first launched back in 1983. It ran all the way through till about 2004. That's when it became a new car. It was a car in its own right. Before that, it had names like Justy, even Ignis. But 2004 is when it all changed. Well, actually, it was 2006, and that's when we saw the first Swift Sport. And what a car it was. It was a pocket rocket, hot hatch back then, and it's only warm hatch in today's world when you think that a hot hatch is an FK8 or a Focus ST. Way more brake horsepower than this with its 135 horses. The Swift Sport is a fusion of style, safety and oomph. Now, it looks just as aggressive, still got the carbon fibre style trim, but essentially nothing's changed since the 2018 model. So there's not even a facelift. The only thing that's actually changed is the powertrain. Still a 1.4 booster jet, but now you've got a hybrid system, 48 volt, small electric motor and a battery. It just makes it a lot smoother. We saw it in the Ignis and the system worked extremely well. It's the same with this. It's cool, it's fun, and before you know it, you're well over motorway speeds. Now if this was me, I'd have changed the styling a bit. I understand why they haven't, because it's a damn good looking car. But then at least you've got something that's a touch different. Prices. I don't quite know how to put this across. Yeah, you have a hybrid powertrain, which will obviously increase the price a bit. But the bottom line is it's £4 more than the previous one, because that was 18,000 and this is closer to 22. And I suppose you have to question, are you going to go for the newer engine, which is slightly more economical, or are you going to go for the one that's 1 second faster? You know what my answer is. However, trawling through Instagram yesterday and other related social media, I did realise you can now get £2,000 off a Swift, so that makes it extremely competitive. Is it the time? LED daytime running lights, classic circular fogs down here, and a honeycomb grille. It's got bigger brakes, it's lighter, it's actually bigger, weirdly, but it does have a few more tricks. Cross-traffic monitoring, adaptive cruise control, automatic lights, no rain sensing wipers. As you'd expect, NCAP 5, and it's fun. Even reversing it here, I had it on 3 wheels because it's stiff. And that's what you want. You want a car that you can throw around the back lane. But saying that, it still has enough flex. We both found it a very well planted car. And to be honest, the winds up here have been absolutely horrendous. It's been technically flash floods, and it just never comes unhinged. Now, if you're not familiar with this car, we actually did a review about 2018, and that was the Swift Sport, but it didn't have the hybrid powertrain. If you want to see that, click here. Sporty alloys, and not the lowest profile tyre, so it gives comfort. Ventilated front discs, and they're bigger than the previous one. Carbon fibre styling down the side, keyless entry, and keyless start as well. It also looks fancy with the black A pillar and B pillar. You've even got black on the C pillar here. Makes you wonder what a black roof would look like on it. Now I keep harping on about it being hybrid, but it's actually a self-sufficient system, so what it does is charges coasting, so you don't need to charge it. Rear lenses are LED, lovely sculpture, Swift Sport, and hybrid. But the bit that really stands out to me is the styling around this rear diffuser. Okay, it's not race car diffuser, but it still looks pretty smart, and you've got twin exhausts as well. See, I'm not even thinking about functionality now because I'm too busy looking at the styling. Got a reversing camera, parking sensors, even rear cross-traffic alert. Perfect for when you're reversing out of parking spaces. It's finished off with a high-level brake light and a rear spoiler. This is the perfect car on the motorway, especially in winter. Projector LEDs. I've been driving up and down the M6 quite a bit this last week, and it's amazing how far the throw is. Ooh, it just appeals. And it always has. When I was at college, one of my friend's mothers used to have one, and we used to nip around in that, and I think that was a GLX, and it was an H plate. So I've been familiar with the Swift for some time. Keyless entry. Press once. Ta-da! Now, back doors aren't open, so click. Now they should be. Now, it took me a while to work that one out. Because for safety, you press it once and it'll just open this door. It doesn't even open the passenger door. Nice wide opening door. First thing you notice is a bit of flex and some hard plastic. But no, once inside, that doesn't really matter. Because you've got this lovely leather wrapped steering wheel, flat bottomed, short shift, and touches of red around the interior too. And buckety seats with sport written on the back. And an engine start stop button. The interior is an interesting one on this. Everything's pretty much hard. Hard, 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 hard. In other words, you're hard pushed to find soft in this. But that's never mattered to me in a Swift, because that's not the reason I drive it. I drive it for the engagement, the way it handles, the way it accelerates. It's fun, like proper fun. Build quality, there's a bit of flex to things, but the gearbox feels nice. And old school handbrake, hill hold assist, adaptive cruise, clear clusters as well. When you cycle through the fuel computer, you can see everything from boost gauge through to economy. Infotainment screen, yeah, it's a bit dated now. It's a decent size and it looks quite nice here. It would have been nice to see it more integrated, but it does the job. It's even got navigation as well, which is rare in today's world. Digital air conditioning, twist this, twist that, press this, press that. Very straightforward. And the front window demists rather quickly too. It's jam-packed full of safety, blind spot detection, even lane keep assist, decent storage, 2 cup holders, 12 volt there, USB, and the one thing I have noticed about this is as soon as you plug that in to your smartphone, it works pretty much immediately. Decent door pocket. Oh, glove box. Well, yeah, pretty damn small. Large manual though. My boxing promoter hair is failing, it's not good. Interesting place for the door handles, makes it very smooth. Door opens, well, relatively wide. Climbing in. Okay, the door opening's not the widest. Now my hair is brushing on the ceiling. Roof? What do you call the roof in a car? But that's not surprising at 6'3". I do have a recess in the seat, and I can put my feet under there as well. That's what I look for, especially in something like a Super Mini. In the front, it's a lovely, nice, comfortable driving position. In the back, it's a Super Mini. And at my height, it's not really built for 4 of me. Hard plastics, and sadly, no padding there. And these are just a bit dull. It would have been nice to see some of the red styling out of the front. Electric window, and a speaker. The thing I always look for when climbing in a car like this is, where's my eye line? And sat like this, it is right out of the glass, whereas in some cars, it's here. Privacy glass, yeah, it does make it a bit dark, but with a light headliner, it's not too bad. In the rear, I would have preferred more buckety seats. That's just my personal preference. I do like the fabric. Yeah, it's more robust than comfort, but I suppose it's what you expect in a car like this. It's not too upright either. Now, surprisingly, 3 grab handles, but not one on the driver's. Yet again, the driver's has been omitted. But I was looking at the Mark II yesterday in the garage, and that doesn't even have one. So it's not like this is a new thing. You've got ISOFIX points and airbags. And pretty randomly, you've got a pocket on this seat, but not on here. And 1 cup holder in the centre, so you have to battle for it. Well, talk about deluge. Anyway, there is no button for the boot on here, so reach under, nice light boot, and you have a parcel shelf, and it literally just pops on there and did. If we pop this here, you'll see decent boot space, to be honest, for something like this. But the one thing that I did notice is there's a fair bit of a lip there, and when you drop the seats, you need a false floor really, because otherwise it's like this big. So, shopping bag hooks and 60/40 folding seats. Nice and easy to drop as well. You just press that and push forward. Welcome aboard the Suzuki Swift 1.4 Boosterjet, now with hybrid powertrain, 48 volt system. one of those cars that I've always loved since day one, and it was a nippy motor then. And in a word, it's what you call a pocket rocket. It's got about 135 brake horsepower, and no matter how you drive it, it still seems to return around 44 to the gallon. And that's whether it's foot to the floor or cruising. Economy, if you're being super efficient, you can return up at about 57 to the gallon. But if truth be known, I don't really cruise. I'm not going to try and do an eco run because that's not why I'd buy a Super Mini with a turbocharged engine. I buy it for its engagement. It corners like it's on rails. With the Boosterjet engine, you've just got power all the time, and that's how it used to be. And with the addition of an electric motor, where you'd feel flat spots in your turbo, well, they're gone. Meaning when you put your foot down in 6th gear on a motorway, you can still pull away at a speed that's rather astonishing. Yeah, you can hear road noise, and you can also hear wind noise as well. And you can hear the engine. It grips like it's on rails. It's got suspension that's stiff enough, but not too harsh. And it's relatively comfortable as well. So it's stiff, but it's still got flex. In a word, it's not body roll per se. It just means it's a little more comfortable. Even in 3rd gear, then it just goes. Now the strange thing is, it's 1 second slower to 60 with this system. I mean, it's 50 kilos heavier, but in my opinion, that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. It should be, if anything, a touch quicker. And it redlines at 6. See? Just grips and cuts through water. There's no driving modes, but you kind of expect that. The shifter. Well, I love short shifts anyway. It's not notchy, it's very smooth. And in a word, it's like a mini quick shifter. 6 speed, so you've got your economy gear as well. It sounds very old school, doesn't it? Economy gear. It's like having a Ford Fiesta and being given a 5th gear. Body roll, there isn't really any of it. But saying that, it's still comfortable enough. Steering's nice and tight and it weightens up the faster you get. Truth be known, it feels a bit hydraulic, but I'd assume it's an electronic system. Pulling out junctions, great fun. It will spin. On a road like this, it feels a bit like a modified motor, so, you know, a bit lowered. Oh my word, pheasant family. Hello, come on. Hello.
Good girl.
Hello. Yeah, it's a bit revvy. That's good though. Getting up to A road speeds. Yes. Simplicity. Joining a motorway. Great fun. People underestimate this car. Feels well planted. Doesn't blow around in the wind, even on the motorway at like 70 miles an hour, which you'd expect it might because of its size.
But the rear spoiler is designed to help with the downforce.
Well, that's good. So it says 9 seconds. I think we can get it a touch quicker.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So, yeah, it says 9.1, but I got it there. I did hit the limiter at about 58 miles an hour. The benefit of the turbo and the hybrid system means that you can pull along about 1.2 revs in 4th gear at around 22 miles an hour, likely even slower. If I go through the fuel computer as well, you can see what the boost gauge is doing. It will also show the hybrid system. I'm not even using the turbo at the moment, instead it's using the electric motor. The adaptive cruise control system is quite a good one. There's also collision detection that screams at you. Also a dual brake sensor on this as well.
Heavy rain, Suzuki in the front.
The Suzuki Splash! The thing is, even through all this heavy water, it still held its composure. It's just good. Look, fitting into the review.
Boing, boing, boing.
It feels planted, good acceleration, decent economy, and fun, like super fun. And you can save £2 grand at the moment as well.